Hey guys, it's Robbie here, and this is FrekiFitWolf. So, I didn't think this video out fully before hitting record, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I fell down the rabbit hole, as the saying goes, on YouTube and on Facebook. If you don't know what that means, it's where you're watching one thing and you click and you go through and watch another and another, or on Facebook, you're reading one post and that leads to another and another, and it's typically a downward spiral, and it can be sometimes very entertaining, sometimes not so much. This time, it got me scared for a lot of people. Hopefully, none of you guys that are watching my channel, but if you are, please listen. I understand hating being fat. I get it. I've been fat my whole life. I was bullied a lot when I was younger for being fat. I have issues in the romantic world because of it. I have health issues. I have body pain issues. I have self-confidence issues. I get it. But people, you can't jump to these extremes. So you've got to be real. You've got to research, and you've got to understand how your body works, how food works, how exercise works. You have to learn. You have to learn that type of stuff. And basically, okay, so it started watching some YouTube videos. Nobody you guys probably know. I don't know. It's just through click, 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 click. You stumble across stuff and you start watching. And I see people trying out different plans, which I think everybody has to try out what works for them. I definitely think you've got to find your right path, what works for you. But watching them, it becomes apparent that they're not doing it correctly. And then when the results aren't happening, blame the plan and blame everybody else besides themselves for why they're not losing weight and why it's not working. And it's just a matter of, especially say with Weight Watchers or most plans, you've got to understand it and you've got to follow it in order for it to work. There's, numerous things out there, and all of them work differently, but ultimately the most basic science for losing weight is you've got to burn more calories than what you consume. That's the basic math. No matter what version of plans you're doing, whether you're doing calories or points or looking at your macros, ultimately it's calories consumed versus calories burned. If that is not happening, you will not lose weight. It is hard. Believe me, I get it. Like I said, 34 years of being fat, minus the few years where I actually lost the weight and kept it off for a couple of years. I get how hard it is. I mean, it's been 8 months and I'm down 50 pounds, 51.2, because I'm going to brag a little, but it has taken 8 months. It can be very slow. It can be very hard. There are going to be weeks where you struggle. I get it. I struggle a lot. I'm typically very upbeat and peppy on here, but believe me, there's a lot of struggling that happens. But it's doable if you stick to it, if you do it properly. That's when you have to battle the other things. When I have a gain, when I mess up, you guys know. I am honest about it. I track everything that goes in my mouth, and I am upfront and honest about it. So when things don't go well, I typically know why. Of course, there are going to be certain random weeks where you're like, I did everything right, and this happened. It's going to happen. Sometimes it just does. But overall, the grand scheme of things, typically if you do the plans, you will be okay. Especially, I'm mainly talking Weight Watchers when I say those working. There are so many out there. Anyway, so with these YouTubers, I was seeing them and, some recipes they'd put up, and it's like, I don't know, well, maybe they're not eating all of it or whatever, or, whatever. And then some of the stuff that they would say, oh, and this is 0 points, or this only whatever, and out of curiosity, I'm nosy. I pull up my phone and I'm like, wait, that wasn't that many points. There's no way. I know there are brand differences. So sometimes when I cook, I do typically explain it depends on your brand. One brand of cheese versus another one could be different points. But they would calculate and say it's way less and tell people that it was this many points when they were making it. And if it's way less than what it actually is and they are eating all of it, guess what? It's going to calculate to a whole lot more and or add up. So I was seeing things like that. And then eventually they said, basically, screw Weight Watchers. They don't work. They're, just money hungry people and blah, 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 just scammers. And I'm like, I've seen your videos. You're not doing it right. But okay, you got to find what works for you. You can't stick to something like that. You can't do that. And then they switch to another plan. And the same thing starts happening again. And then they switch to another plan, and it's a little bit more extreme. And issues start happening again. And this led me into like some Facebook groups where people are doing certain diets, and some of them they're just scary. The things that people are doing because they are scared of staying fat. Some of the extreme things. And I admit, I do not always put the healthiest things in my body. I mean, you guys know how often I go to Weight Watchers. Or, you guys know how often I go to McDonald's. So I am not an advocate for, I'm not a shining example of constantly eating perfect, healthy, 100% food. But I listen to my body, and I know what is working and what isn't, and how I feel. And so when I'm in these groups that I was looking at, and they just let you join, and I'm seeing people post things like, so, a few weeks in and I'm feeling really, really fatigued. Is that normal? And people comment, yes, oh, totally, totally normal. You'll feel really weak, really tired, really sick for like another 2 weeks, and then you'll start feeling better. Then you'll have more energy than ever. What you're doing is shutting your body down. I'm not going to say which diets these are, but just the science of it. You're shutting your body down. If something you are doing is making you feel sick, making you feel exhausted, you're not fueling your body properly. It's not going to be good in the long run. And especially some people were like, yeah, ever since I started this, I have such a lack of energy, but I've lost this much weight. Yeah, it's because your body is eating itself because you're not feeding it properly. It can't process the foods you're eating. I see in these groups people post about pooping. Sorry, but there's not a nice way to say it. Like, I'm having issues pooping. What do you guys do? And people throwing up like, try this tea, try this laxative, try this pill, try this, all this stuff just so that your body can do what it should do naturally. That's scary. If you guys remember, years ago, I did try keto, like 2 years ago, and I had that issue. 2 weeks didn't poop. And it's not good. And then at the same time, in some groups, they're like, I saw one literally posting about the fact that she goes nonstop. She literally, somebody in the comments literally shared a story how she almost defecated in the shower because she couldn't make it to the toilet. And this sounds normal. People are laughing like, oh yeah, that's, that happened to me, blah, blah, blah. It's like, that sounds okay to you, but they're losing weight. So it's okay to them because whatever. I saw another post where somebody was asking, okay, I'm thinking about trying this. Has anybody had anxiety issues and gone into this diet? And what is it? Does it help with it? I think it could help. Or does it hurt it? The comments, guys. Just the desperation in the comments. Like, that's what really, really scared me. I saw people saying, yeah, I go back to my doctor and I'm on, a couple new medications and it's helping a little bit, but I'm down 80 pounds, so I'll take whatever medication I have to take to keep losing weight. And that, it's sad for me, to me. Like, you guys know, I have social anxiety disorder. I have manic depressive disorder. And when you are treating your body better, when you are eating healthy, fueling yourself right, getting the exercise you need, those are all natural ways to slowly get off medication. Not everybody can, so don't be like, duh, duh. I understand. But those things do help. Over time, it helps a lot. I will always struggle with depression. I will always struggle with my anxiety. And I'm not saying medication is not needed. But in order to lose weight, I'm not willing to do something that makes me need more medication, more chemicals in my body, just so that I can lose weight. It's not something I'm willing to do. And it's scary that these people are. I mean, like I said, I get the struggles. I really, really desperately do. But you've got to love yourself. I don't know if you guys saw the video. It was way back when I had a very bad webcam and a very bad microphone, so it probably doesn't sound too well. But I did a video. I might have actually recorded outside, so it might not be that bad because my phone's recording is great. But I talked about loving yourself before you can start a weight loss journey. And I still believe that that is so important because you have to love yourself. I get not loving the fat deposits. I get that. But loving the fact that your body is running and doing everything that it can to keep going despite what we have done to our bodies, that's amazing. And you have to love yourself to want to be able to take care of yourself, because losing weight the right way is an act of self-love. Losing weight in these crazy, desperate ways, that is not. That is a selfish act, and it's a conceited act. You're doing it, typically, if you're willing to be that desperate, it's because you're more concerned about what other people think versus you want to be healthy. Because if you wanted to be healthy, it's more than just a number on the scale. Health has a lot to do with everything else. It has to do with what you're putting in your body, how your organs run. It's not just the number on the scale. I could starve myself for 3 months. I mean, there's these extreme, crazy, it's not even intermittent fasting, where they fast for like 3-4 days out of the week. And you'll lose weight freaking quick because you're starving your body and it's eating itself. But that's not getting healthier, because it's going to start eating things that it shouldn't. And then your body will start shutting down, and then people start getting sick. And yeah, I mean, I've always joked growing up that, when I got sick and I was like bedridden for a week and I would lose weight, I'd be like, wow, that's the best diet ever. Yeah, but it's from being sick. And in these cases, it's from people making themselves sick. And it's just scary to me. So this is a weird video. I just wanted to put that message out there that, guys, like, research what you are doing. Learn why and how to lose weight, the science behind it, at least a little bit. You don't have to become a doctor or anything to understand the basics. And like I said, at the very minimum, if you don't remember anything else, just remember that you have to, to lose weight, the very, very basic is to burn more calories than you consume. With that, you can't take it to extremes and not consume enough calories to run your organs, your heart, your lungs, your stomach, your colon, all of that stuff. It needs nutrition. Your brain, your everything, it needs nutrition to survive. That is the real purpose of food, is to run our bodies. If you're not doing that, your body's not going to run. And you just got to wake up a little bit. Like I said, luckily, I think most of you guys that watch my channel are smarter than that. But I see so many that because the struggle is real, they want these desperate things that they're willing to do. And ultimately, with a lot of those, you've got to, look at the other side of weight loss. Like, I talk, obviously, a lot about the food, a lot about the exercise. There's a mental aspect that you have to address, and in order for it to work. And sometimes you can get addicted to weight loss. You can get addicted to doing these things because when you are feeling depressed and when you are feeling bad about being fat, a lot of times it's because you feel out of control. And then when you start starving yourself, you start feeling in control a little bit. It hurts. It's miserable. You start losing weight and you're like, I did that. And it can be an addictive thing. I'm not going to get into all of it, but there's a lot of mental disorders that arise from that lack of self-control. And that's where you need to talk to a doctor or get some self-help books if you don't have insurance, like I don't. But luckily, when I was younger, my parents did, and I've been through a lot of therapy, a lot of psychiatrists, and you've got to address those issues. So yeah. So anyway, I've rambled on for quite a while. Sorry, this is a little bit more depressing, but I'm scared for a lot of people, and I want you guys to know that you are worth losing weight the right way. It's worth getting healthy, not just dropping the number on the scale. That is very, very important to me, about you guys, about myself, and about, even the people on YouTube and on those Facebook groups that I don't know, that I've never interacted with. I care. I don't want them going down that desperation where they'll just believe anything, where they just start taking more and more medications and more, supplements or oils or this or that that they buy from the internet because they're losing weight, but they're exhausted. They can't poop. They can't sleep. They can't this. They're depressed. Their anxiety's through the roof. It's scary, and I don't want people to go through that at all anymore. So anyway, I'm going to stop rambling now. Thank you for watching, and if you're new, normally I am not this depressed sounding, but it was a dark rabbit hole. So please check out another video and subscribe, comment, and guys, let me know what you're doing. I'm actually really concerned for a lot of people. Let me know if you're doing it in a healthy way, or if you have done stuff in a not so healthy way. I care. And yeah, so anyway, I'm going to go. Enough of this, and I will talk to you guys probably Sunday when I do my weigh-in. All right, bye.